Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have a historical rules event. Our first round for you is the Crossley Creek, followed up by our second map, which is the Pat's Turnpike. Anyways, before we get into that, thank you to our Patreon members for the support. If you'd like to support, go to the link in the description. We get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. Our teams for today, on the CSA side, you have the 2nd United States Cavalry, the UEC regiments, New York Volunteers, 23rd Ohio, Army of Northern Virginia, and the 20th Georgia, whereas on the Union side, you have the Hamptons Legion, 11th Mississippi, 13th Georgia, Texas Guards, the CEL, 2 Corps, Jenkins Brigade, Leeds French Legion, and the Kentucky Outlaws. Anyways, going into this, our server pop today, it's going to be 260. In balance right now is 12 towards the CSA side. Artillery-wise, it looks like CSA has 4, Union has 7. So, in terms of all of that, Union is down 15 guys infantry-wise, and that is going to be rough for their team, especially as they attack on this map. So, going to our overview here. Here's the new map. Our frontline reporters today for the Union side here. You have Flores from the 11th Mississippi, and then going over to the CSA side, you have Gareth from the Army of Northern Virginia, and it should switch soon to Cloud. Don't know exactly when that is, but it'll be happening soon. So, we've changed some stuff with the UI. Let us know your thoughts, like with the team intros, the new scoreboard on top, and the little stinger transition there. We're trying to update the UIs to make things look better and look a little more appropriate for our broadcast. So, let us know your thoughts. But anyways, Crossley Creek. This is the, I think, second time I've watched this map. Watched it once in pubs on the first day it came out, and then watched. I'm watching it now. So it seems the only way Union's going to be able to make an approach on this map is by pushing through this barn, because the only inbounds area is this open field, and CSA has some rocks over there, but other than that, it's wide open field. So Union has to kind of come through this area, which has the best cover for a Union approach. They've got some trees, they've got some barns and whatnot. And you can see CSA obviously are going to plug this angle, albeit not with their entire team. You do have some Union guys over here. They have the artillery here, and you also have the 2nd U.S. Cav. They're kind of, I guess you could call it skirmishing. They're away from the Union line, but defending them, you have LFL, you have CEL, and then you got 2 Corps on the far left. And so most of the Union side is going to try to break through, I assume, through this. Remember, though, they don't have bayonets until the 30-minute mark, and there's no sprinting until the 30-minute mark.
If you come in along the picket fence, there's a gap here you can run right through without going up the road.
So that will be that. I just realized that both of the frontline reporter views were exactly the same, which, I don't know, might be an issue here. Anyways, I'll fix that in a moment. Both sides are kind of sitting and shooting. Union's trying to slowly make their approach here to the CSA defensive line. They're not going to go full ham on it yet, just because they can't sprint in. Because, of course, you don't have the bayonets, and that's perfectly fine, because it just takes 3 bonks instead of 2 stabs to kill someone. So that's not really big of an issue. It's just you can't sprint up to... You just can't sprint up to the CSA line, and you're obviously going to have more guys dying that aren't sprinting, because it's a lot easier to shoot someone when they're just kind of jogging or walking versus when they're on a full-on sprint. So... nothing much for now. Tickets-wise, they're in favor of CSA a little bit. They are winning the shootout here. And you can see the 11th Mississippi here. They've got a great little angle. They're kind of in the center of this CSA line here that's shooting towards the Union. They got some nice flanking shots there on the Union, who are now going to push up 20th Georgia. Getting up as close as they can. Bringing the flags up. I mean, Union is trying to make this a close fight. pretty sure Union has the 69th, New York, and the is it 28th Massachusetts on this map. And that's the Irish regiment, and they got that bucking ball.
Line them up, boys.
Aim fence! Aim at
Aim at the fence for the people. Aim at the fence for the
HTC,
people.
I think your boys are over to our west, if I remember correctly.
So NYV's pushing up, trying to get a little flank. Looks like most of the CSA line is starting to push over to where the Union are mainly attacking. You do have 6 Alabama, part of A and B, kind of in the open here, skirmishing. So we got about 4.5 minutes until bayonets can be equipped. That's an unfortunate spawn. He just spawned in and was like, yeah, I'm going to quick time back to my line, not stay in cover, not try to get in cover. I know you can't sprint, it's just kind of funny.
Break their ankles and they can't run.
So, out of bounds, they're on the edge of out of bounds, NYV is. So, I mean, they really can't go too far. There's really not a lot of cover for at least Union approaching. It looks like CSA, they're kind of started to turn over towards where the Union is at, trying to get some nice shots across the open field. 6 LA guys are. So when these maps first came out, the attackers were destroying the defenders, meaning Union was curb stomping CSA on this map. Albeit they just sprinted in and just pushed right through the CSA. We'll see how aggressive Union is once they can finally start sprinting. But of course we won't know that for another few minutes. But in that first time I watched it, Union just swept right through everything, and they had a huge ticket lead. And so this happened on a lot of the maps, and the developers decided to give the defenders 15% ticket boost on all maps. And you can definitely see the result with that, as both sides kind of have similar ticket amounts. It's like 88th New York alongside 6 Alabama. They're trying to push open through the open field. CSA, I don't think, was expecting this. They're not really shooting at this. A lot of them are surviving. I don't know why they're stopping in the open, though. There's a snake fence right next to them. At least 6 Alabama has a little cover with those rocks. But it just seems like a bad spot. You can be pinched on both sides. But I guess you're not going to be pinched when your friendlies go in. 20th Georgia moving right on top of 11th Mississippi. And they're going to be able to throw them off of that corner there.
That's ridiculous. Right, hold on a second. If they're allowed to peekaboo...
Dress left, few men on the right.
And actually, CSA is down on tickets a little bit. I don't know if it was 20th Georgia briefly moving up there, but something caused CSA to drop in tickets a little bit, and Union's starting to take a bit of lead here. You know, and despite these guys being in the open, they're surviving for a while. They are a little deflated as well, only a little. So like everything below their knees or maybe their waist are covered, at least from a CSA vantage point. I don't think 11 Mississippi can see him either with those trees there, but looks like Union's pretty much pushed up as far as they can go without necessarily charging. And a minute and a half, we're going to get that sprinting and bayonets equipped. Again, we're going to see if Union plays aggressive. I think they should. I mean, when you're looking at this map, the point of contention is right where CSA is holding in here. They do have some artillery on it. It's not that great of an artillery spot. I mean, you can see the guys in the wood line here, and we're about to see a shot, I think. It looks like they got a hit there, broke the snake fence there. But, I mean, it's not that great for this direction. It's kind of a crappy spot for artillery, but I mean, once Union can charge, I would push through and hit CSA out, because CSA, they do have the snake fence here, and they can kind of go deeper into the corn, but that's away from the point. It's not like it matters a whole lot. All of this is complete open out here, so Union could kind of corner CSA into their spawn using the caissons and artillery to their advantage if they wanted to. But Looks like 20th Georgia's pushed up to the snake fence, trying to get some side shots here
Focus those guys.
on the 11th Mississippi. And in about 10 or so seconds, we're going to see sprinting enabled. And CSA are actually the first to go down. So, you can hear them. Fixed bayonets Union. Shortly after the fact, hits engaged. And so, will the Union make a move? I mean, zooming out, they don't see it, but the Union is very crunched up in that tiny area, and there's not a lot of CSA around them. They could easily mob rush and wipe that if they wanted to. It's a nice part about War of Rights is each side has similar amount of players, which means that if you're completely surrounded, that means they're thin all around. So, 2 Corps F Company charging out. These artillery guys getting a couple kills or so. Some nice out of lines. But it's kind of surprising that these guys are still holding here.
Brother Thule goes to the stone wall.
So it looks like Union doesn't want to stay aggressive. The CSA on this side are starting to inch their way closer to collapse down. But Union just seems content with the shootout. I mean, they're winning on tickets.
Up to my left, right here.
And
right here.
it looks like they're starting to try to turn this flank. You got the NYV, A&V, and the UEC guys starting to push up. I mean, they have a great chance to flank the CSA that are there. And we'll see if they take that advantage. They're just playing it cautious for now. They don't want to avoid too many the casualties or lose the flag, but I don't know if I really need to be worried about that. So, CSA look like they're going to collapse on the 20th Georgia that are holding on the corner here. LFL's going to go in, trying to secure the CSA's center at least. And CSA is down about a fourth of morale stage. 20th Georgia get thrown back. And they came in at a good time, as it looks like the CSA here were kind of, I mean, they're thinning out on this side. But it really, oh my goodness, you just saw another 3 or so drop. Again, it's really going to depend on how aggressive Union wants to push this. I mean, it's clear as day to us they got to go, but they don't necessarily know how much CSA are there.
Come side, bro.
I'll wait your pull if we're still on independence. So see them.
You do have some CSA that have moved up here, though.
Ceasefire, ceasefire.
Looks like it's Texas Guards that are reforming there, and looks like A&V and NYV are going to push forward here. And they are moving through and wiping in the corn right now. And they have completely pushed CSA out of the corn, at least in the center. However, Texas Guards, they backed off a little bit. I thought they were charged out, but it looks like they may be retreating and tried to get around. Parker sees them, though. And Texas Guards putting their flag in a very risky spot. It's at the edge of out of bounds, and they could run it out if they want to get it back. But that flag dies there. That could be a bad spot for CSA, especially with Union starting to take this ground. You don't want to have a flag trapped behind your opponent. That would not be very good. So, as we can see, Union's at least pushed CSA off the ground. They haven't moved up to take it. And it looks like now they're starting to do this. CSA still kind of spread out. You do have, I think, some Union guys over here still. Is it the 2nd U.S. Cav? Yeah, it looks like they're just defending the Union artillery. Which, artillery on a lot of these drill camp maps are not the greatest. They're just, the bad angles are just flat ground where you can't see anything. So Texas Guards moving in. They're going to get a nice flank here.
Hey, on the fence, on the fence.
And Union just retreats due to that.
Hold it here, boys. Don't charge.
Get stabbed in the wiener.
And so Union also trying to pressure the corner, which 11 Mississippi is holding. And even though Union's not gaining substantial ground here, they're getting this ticket lead, which is frankly all that really matters in the end for them. So 11 Mississippi still trying to hold this corner as best as they can, but 20th Georgia is out shooting them here, and they need to get out there with their flag. Texas Guards looks like they're reforming in the corner here. Looks like you have some CSA respawns here pushing up to reinforce this corner. The issue is that only 11 Mississippi is trying to hold this corner against a larger Union team that's putting pressure on them. A lot of CSA are holding back, and 11 Mississippi is taking a beating. You really have to wonder how this is going for their tickets. Clearly what CSA is doing now is not working, but I would think, though, that if CSA wants to control this corner, they would have more guys assist the 11 Mississippi, because they're just kind of getting torn up right now. I mean, HL's with them. I see a couple of those guys there. It's like Jenkins Brigade and Texas Guards are doing more of a harassing move on CSA, or on the Union anyways. But at this point, CSA is down half a morale stage, and they need to change up their strategy here. Whether it be turtling back and forcing Union to cap, or just pulling back and not turtling, but engage in a shootout from a longer distance. But maybe they don't want Union getting in the corn here. So Union somewhat keeping up the shots. It's kind of a silence for a moment. Looks like these two core guys are moving along to assist. Maybe go in the corner or hold the center here for CSA.
I think he just got shot in the face.
Directly southwest, boys, directly southwest.
Go. Back.
Just go there and check it. Okay.
Oh,
Well.
independent fire, light up. Light them up, that smoke in the south. Shoot to the corn, light them up.
So that'll get CSA down to taking losses. One more stage and Union can cap point and win. I mean, it took the Union 8 or so minutes to get CSA down at this point. These close kind of shootouts here. So Union definitely has plenty of time. They got, what, 21 and a half minutes. And in 16 minutes, based on the pace they're going now, they'll get CSA down to last stand, and at that point, they can't respawn. So I almost wonder if CSA trying to harshly defend this corner.
Voilà, en double rang, s'il vous plaît. Serrez la ligne.
More Union starting to push up. Looks like A and V starting to push up with 20th Georgia. Actually, it's 6th Alabama portion of A and V. And they're going to go through the corn here. This is what you normally see from 6th Alabama, is they try to play aggressive here and charge CSA out. I don't know where they're going. Maybe they're just trying to get behind the CSA line. I don't know if CSA sees. At least F Company from 2 Corps might. The rest of Union looks like they're going to push up and take where 20th Georgia was. 60 York trying to put a lot of pressure there. They're very much outnumbered. And it looks like they're going to flank in. Union charging from all sides here. Union a little risky here, bringing that flag out. Obviously, you want the respawns, but Texas Guards, unfortunately, not realizing the opportunity they have with that flag there. Meanwhile, the rest of the Union team is pushing in. and trying to take this corner from the CSA. Texas Guards on the top left side of your screen are kind of taking around the barn there. And both sides are losing a significant amount of tickets.
Shoot this guy right here.
Shoot that man. Shoot that man.
Union lose that flag that they brought up front. CSA maybe have an opportunity to retake the ground. You got one of these Union flags. A good chunk of them won't be here for a while. I mean, Union main spawn all the way back there. It's a bit of ways away.
Enemy 51st, reform on my left.
So Union kind of trying to reform. Texas Guards hold on the white straight fence there, not trying to push their chances. But that flag that Union lost there, it won't despawn for 5 minutes since it was down. So Union has to wait 3.5, 4 minutes before someone can spawn back in with it, unless they pick it up, of course. But I doubt someone's going to be able to pick it up unless they go through the CSA line. Honestly, I don't know, because if you're CSA, you're down half morale stage. You either need the turtle and force the opponent to cap, or just sit further back and engage in a shootout, or you need to push Union out. Because if you charge Union and you push them out completely, sure, you're going to lose a lot of tickets, but at the same time, you would have spent a few minutes in the charge, and then more importantly, Union would have lost flags potentially, and they got to respawn all the way back there, and that's another 3 or 4 minutes Union would burn getting ready and then moving out and actually getting up to the battlefield again. So at this point, CSA has to, I think, change up their strategy, because it's very clear that Union is just going to do this for the rest of the round. It's working. Why would they change their strategy? So it really relies on CSA to change strategy, and that can be difficult. It's not like these officers here have a officer chat that they can use. They got to send runners in game or use the voice chat if they go by another group. Like I think Acorn here might have been a runner going over the Texas Guards or something like that to say, hey, here's what you're doing or whatever. So I mean, you'll see a lot of other events where the officers will have their own Steam chat and they can yap about things to each other in that call, normally talking about strategy. There's pros and cons to both systems, but a lot of it can come down to preference, and the preference of this event is to do runners and whatnot. Also the in-game text chat system, but depending on the event, they can or cannot use that. In this case, they can't. Who would have thought that in a historical rules event, they would want people to use the in-game voice system and not use modern technology like text chat. So, 6 Alabama trying to push in. Some of these guys are. They're hiding in a bush, and it's kind of hard to see the other person there. But these trades here, honestly, at this point, it's like chess. When you're up by like a piece or so, a couple pieces, you're fine with trading tickets. You might even be fine losing a piece, or losing, in this case, losing tickets to knock your opponent down. And at this point, Union's up now 3/4 of a morale stage, and they're just trying to force CSA down and just win this game outright. I mean, like 6 Alabama pushing up there. I don't know if more of them pushed up. Could have missed that, but there was only a few in there at the time that we looked. It's like normally that wouldn't be a great move, especially if you're on a defender, but at this point, Union just needs to get CSA down.
Enemies west as well.
Oh, enemy line.
One front of us with flank fence. Check a few signals.
And so Union, again, trying to use the few houses here as cover. They're crunched down even more with the CSA taking these hay bales. It's barely in bounds for them to be here. The hay bales also do not stop bullets going through. It's just more of a visible barrier, if anything. So, in a moment or so, we're going to see CSA drop to breaking. If Union captures at that point, they'll automatically win. How is Hager getting the flag out? What the?
Take Make it dull.
Get
Make
left,
it
boys,
even.
get left.
Front and back
Looks
ranks.
like some Union guys are going to run out and try to get it. So, I don't know how Hager... I don't know how he got the flag out, but dang, that's kind of wild. He just ran right through CSA lines. Looks like now the other half of A&V, 10th Alabama, they're now pushing up and trying to do the same thing here.
Hey, they're at the fence. They're at the fence. Watch the fence. Watch the fence, boys.
Whoa, watch out, we're getting flagged. Watch out, boys, watch out.
And this is a risky charge here from Texas Guards and HL.
Good night. And good night.
But, like I mentioned, they need to change up their strategy, and trying to throw Union out here is not a terrible idea. Looks like they charged from this side, hitting them in the back. I like that they're changing strategy. Now they got 2 Union flags. If Union doesn't push them out, they won't get the flags for another 4.5 minutes. Now 88th New York is trying to go in and save those flags. And only a few of them went in, and so CSA is going to be able to hold. Now, that ticket differential looks to be closing a little in CSA's favor. About a half morale stage. Now HL is starting to push out here. Looks like they're going to charge in the other half of NYV. I assume the rest of CSA is going to go up and over and charge, and they will. CSA does go into breaking, but they have completely thrown the Union out. Now they just need to try and get the flags, which they got another one. Arrow with the last flag, leaving a little too late, and he dies. What a great set of maneuvers from CSA here. Union's completely thrown out. They have gotten all 4 Union flags, so Union is not going to be able to pick them back up till about the 8-9 minute mark, which is huge for a lot of reasons. And then also, if your opponent only has 8 and 9 minutes, it's still a lot of time, but it at least pushes Union to a little bit of a crunch. Now, CSA, to follow this up, they need to hold like right here or something, or they just need to hold further forward. Because you wipe their flags, you should really make sure Union can't get those back. But for now, most CSA is pulling back, which is fascinating.
It was an investment. It was an investment. Right, TG shift right.
So, great move from CSA. You had to adapt.
Yep.
We are breaking now. 1 cabo there and we lose. We can't move all too far right.
So, that's just very well done. So, Union getting reformed up. Some of them starting to move out. Now, Union's got to play this smart. If Union doesn't really move in as a team, CSA could take advantage and start defeating them in detail like we saw a second ago. But it looks like CSA has completely fallen back to their original defensive lines. And so that's very good for Union, who is going to be able to at least reform kind of up in the general vicinity that they were throughout the match. And also a good chance to get their flags back, at least 2 of them.
Well, yeah, that's just a confirmed kill on our COA.
So, I mean, if CSA, I really do think CSA still needs to hold forward. They don't necessarily know that Union's coming in spread out, but I think as CSA, you want to keep those flags out of Union hands, which they picked up both those flags. Because here's the thing, right? If you hold a forward defensive line, sure, you're holding in a forward spot where Union's going to be able to get nice shots on you, but none of these guys have flags, which means that when they die, instead of spawning right back with their line, they're going to have to spawn all the way back there. And when you have guys spawning in really far away from their group, chaos can ensue very quickly, and the disorganization of a team can happen really, really fast. So, I kind of wish CSA would have held further forward, but nonetheless, we'll see if it pays off. 11 minutes on the clock. Union's not going to be ready for still another 2-3 minutes. I mean, you still got Droops kind of moving towards this little battle area here over there. Looks like CSA having some fun, charging 2nd US Cav and the Arty. But you do have another Union unit trying to move through here. It is 6th Alabama. But, oh my goodness. Union guy got one of these flags. Who are you, good sir? John Wilkes Booth there from 20th Georgia getting another flag. That's the second flag that 20th Georgia guys have gotten. That's like a kind of impressive grab. So CSA starting to shift as Union starts to stroll up again. A and V there. They might try to go pick up that flag if possible. Look at the ticket gaps. It's down to a fourth of a stage right now. Like, that was a beautiful play from CSA. Looks like CSA is trying to turn, at least get as close as they can to out of bounds to get some nice shots on the Union. Put them in a pincer here, and they're kind of being completely shot down here. Luckily, there is a spot where they can hold there to at least respawn, but they're only up there by themselves right now. Looks like you have a good chunk of Union charging out the CLE. CLE rolls off the tongue a lot better than CEL, which is why I said it like that. So, NYV getting a wipe there. And I wouldn't be surprised if they push up the LFL. 9 minutes on the clock. And again, great decisions here from CSA. Charging out the Union, wiping that flag. All those guys are going to have to spawn back at main again. This has been a great recovery from CSA. Tickets are almost dead even now. So, the Union's also kind of making a mistake here. Which, I don't know, you could argue that. They're spread out a little bit here. So if they want to make a concentrated charge on the point, they either got to time it really well, which is difficult, or go in on their own and hope the CSA doesn't, as a team, collapse on you. But it does look like NYV's over here. Dang. I don't know if that was a team kill or not, but yikes, that looks scary. Eddie just got destroyed. Looks like 2nd US Cav, though, is going to charge it out. NYV looking to join.
Take the rocks, get that flag down.
I don't know why they're saying scoreboard. They're winning on tickets, but I don't know. This match turned to be a lot closer than what it should have been. So, LFL retreats. TKO back on the fence. And the interesting part for Union here is that this is out of bounds. They can't use the snake fence. So the only way they can approach CSA is by going across the open field, which these guys are on the edge of out of bounds, maybe running through it. 6 Alabama's trying to go up. They're not going in. Reinforced. Meanwhile, on the other side, it looks like CSA's taking a more forward stance, trying to defend those flags. Remember, Union's still down 2 flags. So, 6 Alabama is being charged out right now. 88th New York now going in. Their flag got dropped pretty early.
Right, southwest.
Are they being reinforced by anyone? No. What? I don't get why 6 Alabama went up there on their own. Sure, they won against 3rd Kentucky. 88th New York will join them. Oh, I guess they didn't even send their flag up. Or someone picked it up. It looked like the flag got dropped in my overview. It looks like Union, these guys are just trying to get some tickets here. Rest of Union starting to move. You can see them on the top left. So, CSA hold that. No surprise, though. Rest of Union going to start moving in, though. 2nd US Cav and 6 New York leading this.
Line here, independent fire, line here, independent. Oh my god.
Both sides not charging, the sign to kind of sit back and shoot. I mean, if CSA can get these 2 flags, because these are the other 2 flags for Union that aren't down, I wouldn't be surprised if they pull this game out. You have more CSA reinforcements starting to push up. Union's got to be really careful here. Looks like they're going to charge. HL, they're going to try to cut Union off. Rest of CSA charging in. This is beautiful.
They're coming, they're coming, they're coming.
Clemente, make sure this
And no surprise there, CSA overwhelmed. They get both of those Union flags. What a play from CSA. CSA was kind of sticking to a generic plan at the beginning. They have adapted so well and are consistently keeping these Union flags down. And now all those guys for Union have respawned, and they don't have a flag, meaning they can't respawn. The only way they're doing anything is by running up here and charging and picking up those flags. I mean, at that point, these two flags are probably going to be down for the rest of the round. Although, actually, Union might have played a big brain play. They're out of bounds. I don't know why it's out of bounds right there, but it's out of bounds. And Union play that really smart. I would not have thought those were out of bounds. But that was a great move from CSA. But a great recognition from Union. Because those flags are out of bounds, meaning they despawn. So Union should be able to pick them back up. And you can see they've already got one of them back. Or maybe that's another one of the down flags over there, which it is. So that's the thing. The flags, when someone drops a flag in bounds, when it drops, it's 5-minute timer. But if a flag is dropped out of bounds, it despawns within like 10-15 seconds. So, ANV trying to make an effort up here. 4 minutes on the clock. They don't have a flag, so they're going to get slowly taken apart. Looks like the second Union flag is despawned. 20th Georgia now just charging in. And so Union's essentially been wiped up front here with 3.5 minutes to go. Now, Union should have all of their flags. Oh, my goodness. I don't know if these guys realize their flags despawned. Oh, no. I don't think they realize their flags despawned. I mean, I would not expect the flags to be out of bounds there. But Union, they didn't know. Everyone spawned in before they despawned, and so they didn't know that they could get their flags back right now. And the game's going to come down to this next charge. If CSA can hold it, they're going to win it. And what a turnaround this has been for the CSA side, though. What a turnaround. Union might just try to sit and shoot this out for a minute or so and then charge in. Just trying to get CSA closer to last stand. Because at this point, it's going to come down to one charge, so Union might as well sit and shoot a little bit before they go in. If they have more bodies on point than the CSA, when the clock hits 0 and overtime phase will start. So, looks like one of those flags has spawned back in. Mr. Ali Kite. So, good catch there. So, Union just kind of mass going. They might go in straight away. 2 minutes on the clock. So, well, at least UEC guys are going to shoot for now. NYV starting to push forward. Actually, it's 88 pushing forward. 6 New York is going along the side. 20th Georgia is kind of in the mix. And 88th New York is just going for it. I mean, they got a minute and a half now. I mean, this is the inverse of Pickett's charge. Although CSA is not hitting a lot of shots. I mean, they're hitting shots, but not as many as you would expect.
Take him out, take him out.
It's not like it matters anyways. Got some Union trying to go around the flank. They're not going to do much. You got more Union reinforcements pushing out. CSA is trying to collapse out in the open field to keep Union off the point.
Just keep going. Oh, thanks for not shooting me, Red.
On tient la barrière, on tient. Hold it.
30 seconds left. CSA, what a flank there from Texas Guards. TKO hopping up and over. They're collapsing in on the backside, and Union's going to lose these 3 flags. And what a win here for CSA.
They're mainly coming center.
Yeah, so overall, what a great game from CSA. Apologies for the interesting start. The frontline reporters were on the wrong side, and I fixed that like 10 or so minutes into the broadcast. I didn't realize that. Had some last-minute changes with that. So apologies with that. But what a round. Like, CSA played that perfectly. They literally they had a plan. They weren't winning it, and they changed their plan by charging the Union out, wiping them, making sure Union couldn't keep the flags because Union spawn is so far away that just kills minutes off the clock. Very well played from CSA. Phenomenal. That's just perfect. Union, you just got to keep watching those flags, but I don't blame Union for pushing forward because they need to get CSA down. So what a great round. Well done, CSA. We'll see you all for round number 2. Alrighty, here we are with round number 2, Pat's Turnpike. So, as we can see, we're up to about a 275-man server. Imbalance looks very good now. Artillery-wise, CSA has 8. Union has 3. So that imbalance is 5, going to be in favor of the Union side. So, with that all being said, Pat's Turnpike, it's one of the bigger maps here. And so, it'll be interesting to see how it's played. I'm guessing CSA is going to go through the woods. Union seems to think that as well. I mean, you have a couple Union guys going out to where CSA already is, but there's not going to be a whole lot of CSA. It just makes sense to go in the woods, similar to last map. You want to attack where there's cover. You don't really want to attack through the open field. I think we learned that with Pickett's charge. That happens in a year in the future, at least at the time of this game in 1862. But you don't really want to attack in that open field. You want to go through the tight area. So, looks like CSA is going to make do with going through the woods, and Union's going to try to push up this side and hit this way as well. So, 88th New York playing very aggressive, pushing the furthest forward out of everyone in the Union. And Union is very, very spread out right now, and this is a little confusing. I don't know if Union is worried that CSA is going to hit them from like over here and also over here, but I think it would make sense that CSA would group up like they are right now and just bulldoze through the woods as a team. But Union is setting themselves up so that they're in each individual group and they're just individually going to get bulldozed with the feet in detail. So I don't like this Union defense to start. And 88th New York, the first group to really take a hit from that. I mean, you also have some Union out here who are pushing really far forward, trying to get a flanking shot. It's 2nd U.S. Cav. Don't have a flag with them, but this will be interesting to watch. Similar to the Crossley Creek, this is the first time I've watched it in a private event. And uh-oh. A&V in the next defensive line. Some 88th New York guys that have survived are still here. And CSA just sweeping through. And Union, no surprise here, they're falling back. I mean, I don't know why, even if CSA didn't attack the woods from one angle, I do not know why you would like set up as individual pods within the wood line here. At least see it from CSA view down there going in the woods. So they are just slowly and methodically moving through this woods. And Union already paying a price with tickets already. So this is just brutal. Great play from CSA. This is just a terrible plan from Union.
Ouais, bien joué, bien joué. Vous les avez
And LFL completely wiping 13th there. This is Union's making some semblance of a defensive line at this point.
Look for these boys.
Position. That's right.
À gauche, gauche, messieurs.
Oh, it ain't just fun. It ain't.
Oh my god! Their line is
Make sure we're double right, boys. Make sure we're double right.
And Union almost down already half a morale stage, and we haven't really started. That's the other thing, too, is that obviously there's some fighting not going on in the woods, but there's a lot more Union not in the woods than CSA. And it looks like some Union groups are moving over to assist. 6 New York looks like they're going to head over. They're going to get a nice little flank here, but they're in the open, and CSA is kind of in that wood line.
Company ready, company ready.
Ready!
By company aim down this line. By company aim, nice and low, nice and low. Fire! Load.
Load! Wait for the command to fire.
So Union again pulling back. This is this is crazy. And now 11 Mississippi is going to be charging in there.
Quick charge. I'm gonna get that flag of yours. I'm gonna get that flag of yours. Give me that flag. Give me that flag.
You didn't win the rocks yet.
Oh, guess what? Guess what?
Yeah. Now you win the rocks.
Gamebot. Yeah, yeah. How do you like that clam?
Corb has a message for GameBot. Interesting. So CSA, they should probably keep continuing the pressure here on Union, who's basically been completely thrown out of the woods. This is not surprising. Again, it's only a matter of time until Union's going to completely lose the wood line and have to defend back here, which defending back here is not terrible. It looks flat, but when you get down and close to it, it's not flat at all. It's at least hilly enough to allow you to hide your body, and so Union can kind of hold a defensive line back here. But obviously, you would much prefer to hold the woods. You wouldn't want CSA to kind of get the woods, especially when that point is right by the woods and the Union artillery, which Union seems to kind of be holding on right now.
Yeah, we had friends come back.
Keep up the fire! Keep up the incoming! I saw some gray out of it.
Northwest, cut the grass. Yep, there it is.
Kill the trays, kill the trays.
So CSA still, they're just methodically moving forward. They're playing it smart. They don't want to get too spread out. Obviously, with the chaos of Civil War in general, things can get completely disorganized, and CSA is just trying to methodically move through the woods, make sure they don't get too far apart to where Union could defeat them in detail, similarly to what we saw last round.
Quick loads, boys, quick loads, quick loads.
Dress right, guys, as well.
And so the last of the Union are getting charged there by LFL. And it looks like Union's new defensive line here is on the artillery. It looks like NYV is holding this out.
Up New York, go, go, go!
Keep firing, north, AD, we're going.
Let's go, let's go, let's go! If you don't move, I'm moving for you.
And CSA is now going to turn to them. Seriously, CSA is playing this perfectly. Union is spreading themselves apart, and so CSA is like, we're not just going to sit here. We're going to keep moving. And the crazy part, they can't sprint or they don't have bayonets. So they are being handicapped, but they're still steamrolling. I mean, they're up over half morale stage right now. HL starting to put pressure on the Caissons. Union respawns are pushing up, but 11 Mississippi is trying to counter that. CSA is forcing the Union now down to engage.
Independent fire down those lines.
And part of it, I think you could hear they're saying buck and ball there, so I'm guessing they have buck and ball. Don't necessarily know the regiments on here yet and if they have buck and ball or not.
Okay, I'm keeping a lookout for...
But it looks like more CSA. Looks like LFL is shifting right in front of Mississippi.
Whoops, sorry. Okay, there's a
Directed to southeast.
Right oblique, right oblique, right oblique.
Those enemies.
On the right side.
North, boys, north.
And LFL trying to get up close and personal. And again, at this point, CSA just needs to keep bringing Union down. It kind of doesn't matter how you bring them down as long as you bring them down. Like, here we go. 6 Alabama, they're by themselves. 11 Mississippi's like, okay, we're charging you. And they get wiped.
You want a Vulcan? Here, you get a Vulcan.
So, meanwhile, on the other side, the 2nd U.S. Cav is being charged out by TKO and the 2 Corps guys, which they're going to charge to the artillery. You can see they're using the bonks.
With the sword!
Kill the con on him!
And so CSA, this is terrible. At least from the Union side, this is so methodical. And honestly, too, you're not even terribly surprised with this outcome, especially with how well CSA played last round. Last round, it's not like Union did anything bad particularly. They just couldn't keep the flags alive. They pushed really far forward, right next to the CSA line, and CSA took advantage and defeated them in detail, got some flags. And then at that point, it was just chaos.
Hard right away, guys. Victor, if you were as good as shooting your the enemies who are your friendlies,
13th, left face on me, double quick.
So, Union's still just being picked apart. Union's still not organized kind of as a team. The most organization is from NYV, and they're a whole group that already plays with each other. Wow. I don't even know if an individual CSA group has been wiped yet. Fully. Obviously, they're going to take a few casualties in a charge, but 1 minute until bayonets and sprinting can be a thing. Really wonder if CSA is just going to kind of sit and have a shootout with Union at this point, which Union might lose a flag here. And they have. But CSA is completely taking the wood line now. I wonder if they're going to play aggressive and try to charge the artillery out and keep Union kind of back here. That's a nice turtle spot for Union, because if CSA do want to push to Union, if they turtle here, they got to go across an open field, but obviously you're putting yourself away from the point.
Hold your loads for now, boys. Hold your loads so we can move. Hold your loads.
Fire, prepare for movement.
And what is... Okay, I guess... I looked like they were going to go in the woods, but it's like, oh, there's some logs there. A and V pushing up.
No.
Ah, come on.
Fire at will west southwest, gentlemen, or at that tree directly towards those chevrons.
All your men are dead in 2 seconds.
But again, they don't get a flag, so if they die, they're gonna respawn at main. And only a couple of Union are here. It's not terribly far, but kind of forming a square. 20th Georgia, 13th Georgia, and 23rd Ohio. And look at that, 30 minutes has been hit. CSA charging HL. They want to finish this 88th New York completely off guard.
Let's say those words. I'm not behind you.
Get them all, Hampton!
They're all dead, they're all dead.
So, that's a great charger from HL. I don't know if Union realized that CSA is taking the whole woods. Good on Frog to get the flag out, though. I think he's trying to get it back to main spawn as ANV collapses. You got charging on the top right side as well of your screen. CSA pushing Union out there. But another Union flag is dropped, so Union's down 2 flags to 11 Mississippi, who charged Union out there. Union's just not working together anymore. They're all acting independently, and CSA is picking them apart. Now 6 New York is trying to go and potentially get a flag.
I heard the rebels had teleportation technology. Might be a thing.
Aim low, aim low, aim low, aim low, aim low, light them up.
Whoever just yelled and then said catch, that was hilarious.
Shoot
Light them
low.
up, boys, light them up, come on, let's do this.
To the Irish!
Get them as they run, get them as they run.
Make them run. Good shots. Make them run. Shoot them as they move. Shoot them as they move.
I'm getting my load.
I got it.
So, it looks like Union's trying to make some effort to take the wood line again. CSA charging at multiple angles, though. First, again, at this artillery that Union's still trying to hold. Looks like UEC regiments are here for Union. And Texas Guards are pushing through there. And they're going to try to keep that flag down. You do see some charging Over on this side, CSA did try to charge a second US Cav. Again, it looks like it's CKO.
Sorry.
Sorry, I know.
Oh, you need to come to drill. Ow.
Bad Union. Bad. Shit.
And they're going to be able to get that wipe. Both sides about to drop it on the morale stage. Union falling back to really the only place they can. I don't know why Union's trying to retake this woods. If they do want to retake it, they need to do it as a team. CSA is playing too well for them to be doing things on their own. So, Union almost down to taking losses. CSA almost down to engage.
Oh, you got plenty of rocks.
LFL looks like they're gonna they're gonna charge right in here again. Some Union are trying to hit him in the rear.
Fall back, boys.
Ooh, a little lag there. Probably because of the artillery shot. But they are charging into a woods where 11 Mississippi has a few more numbers than them. I don't think 6 Alabama noticed. They do get the LFL flag, but I think that flag will not be down for long. And Union, there they go down to taking losses. So, Union get pushed out of the woods again. I guess they weren't really in it, but...
Best of luck, lads.
Fight and die honorably.
Yeah, thank you. Alright, let's try again.
So, ANV, 88th. Maybe they're going to try to make a push for that point. If I'm CSA, I don't cap right now. You're up by a morale stage with 26 minutes left to knock your opponent down to breaking.
Aim at the stomach.
And it's Texas Guards who push up. I'm assuming they're going to volley and then fall back.
Fire.
About 2-3 guys there. Uh-oh.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness! R.I.P. the 88th New York. They did not see 11 Mississippi coming on their flank. Why is Union still trying to combat over here? Second U.S. Cav flipping sides of the battlefield. LFL's going to charge them out. Wow. Oh, they capped the point.
Bonjour.
Not that it's the end of the world, and probably CSA is going to hold the 7 minutes, because that's how long they need to hold before they win. But this could be quicker. We'll see. CSA has complete control. I mean, Union is starting to fall back into kind of that area where it'll be harder for CSA to knock them down. Looks like Texas Guards stayed there on point. But they hold for 6.5 minutes. They win the game. And so, now I don't know if it matters, but this is really do or die for Union.
Fire, hold and load. Friendly's on the right, decoys just pushed up. Full company, I think it's
Got more friendlies behind us moving up to
He's
the
dead.
line chopper.
Oh, they just volleyed the fire out of him.
Hold on, that's right, that's them right in front of us, hold on.
Oh.
Alright, hey, have to double quick in ranks, move forward, mark.
Double quick in ranks forward.
Ranks.
Keep your ranks.
They're ready for us, they're ready for us.
And so,
KK!
Union trying to get some flank, but, or actually they're just moving to match CSA. Not all of Union's in fighting, a lot of them still in main. Here comes a wave of Union moving out, trying to go for the point, but CSA is collapsing out of the wood line to hit them. And although they're getting on point, I don't know if they're going to be able to take it. If they took it right back right now, that'd be huge. That's literally you gain like a morale stage and a quarter right now. CSA should not let this happen. Union does pick up that flag, so they have 3 flags, but these 3 flags got to pay attention to what's about to hit them. They're not going to be able to hold them. They got to get out.
There's a lot of them, man. Here they come, boys. They go.
Brace the fence, brace the fence. Brace the fence.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry, Megan.
Get off the fence, reloading their face.
Flag awareness is not there.
Come on over here.
And so Union are going to lose 2 flags there. 3. About to lose a 4th. Man.
Y'all don't even know. You Yankees are just stupid, man. I don't know what to tell y'all.
CSA have completely taken over the whole field. It's wild because when I watch this, I'm trying to remember. The ticket balance, I don't think was fixed at this point. I don't remember. Anyways, the Union on pubs did a lot better than the pubs. Or the regimentals are here for you. Oh my goodness. I worded that really well, guys, frankly. Deserve a speech award there. But the pubs for Union did a lot better than the regimentals here for Union. Granted, obviously, CSA regimentals are going to be a lot more organized. And clearly they are than CSA pubs, who kind of played it a little more laid back. But, oh my, CSA pushed Union basically out of every decent position now. And they're even getting past that to where if Union wants to try something, they got to go across an open field. The only way now is through the woods. And again, if you're going to go in there, you got to move in with a team, especially if you're a defender. 3.5 minutes left. CSA starting to push into the woods. Look at that. CSA is about to envelop these groups. Oh my, if these guys charge. Honestly, if CSA hold this counterattack, I don't think there could have been a more perfect event performance today. LFL is going to get a beautiful flank. 2nd U.S. Cav retreated. 88th New York got shot up mostly, though, before LFL got that flank. And they're trying to make sure, and they're going to probably turn on the few 2nd U.S. Cav that are alive here. So, Union moving out of their main spawn. Kind of organized because they were all forced to spawn in the same area. Let me see, can I... You know, it's going to take a second or two to get used to that little stinger there. I usually hit the transition there when I switch sides, because otherwise I guess that doesn't look that bad. Anyways. Union's pushing out. They got 2.5 minutes. They're all kind of together. It looks like they're mostly going to make a team effort here to get to the point. A lot of CSA in the woods. Going to try to move out for a flank right now. Looks like Texas Guards are going to hold on the point. Union going to rush out and try to get that flag. But what's interesting right now is CSA is a little spread out. So Union has an opportunity here. More CSA collapsing onto the point. Union still, they can see those 2 down flags. You can see some guys running up and trying to get them. I mean, Union needs these respawns to hold the point. Or else the guys who die are going to spawn at main. They're going to have to retreat through. Now, Union in a melee here. And they're going to get 2 CSA flags. That's a very good wipe there for Union. Meanwhile, rest CSA trying to collapse in the rear. 11 Mississippi engaging with some Union respawns. 1.5 minutes left on the timer. Meanwhile, well, it looked like some CSA were charging. So one CSA got a flag.
Go to the rear! Go to the rear!
I'll go in the rear.
Come on! Yeah, hook around, hook around!
You're lucky my pistol's empty. You're lucky my pistol's empty from your last...
Hey, baby, you should stop doing what you're doing and what you should do and go home.
And 11 Mississippi collapsing in when TKO, but look at that huge Union wave that's showing up. 1 minute left.
There we go. Hey, come here. Second wave base. East, look east. Hold to the east, down the road.
And the game still says CSA's holding, although it looks like Union is starting to overtake this here. I mean, you got a few CSA. I don't know why the 2 core guys are sitting back watching their friendlies get charged through. However, it looks like Union's going to retain this. And how is CSA still have control of the point? I don't know if point extends all the way out there, but Union going to be able to overcome, and they should be able to retake this point. A lot of the CSA are spawning back at their main spawn. They are down a couple of flags right now. I think 2 flags. So at this point, Union is going to go up to a lower engaged. And, you know, in the end, even though Union's going to have a very rough round, they recovered. They all came out of that main spawn together, and they pushed this point. And Union did to CSA what CSA had done to Union, essentially, for the back half of the first round here and most of this round. Just defeated them in detail. So, good recap there for Union. It's going to at least allow them to continue in this match. Still, CSA is in a great spot. When you've got to get your opponent down a little over a morale stage with 25 minutes on the clock, you have plenty of time. We'll see how Union responds, at least defensively. And be intrigued to see if CSA just tries to do the same thing that they did at the beginning of the round. Now, Union spreading out a long ways. And this is what led to CSA having such a dominant lead earlier in the match. Now, is CSA going to take advantage of this? Or are they just going to spread out with the Union and kind of engage with them there? Obviously, CSA can keep a group over here. That's what they did earlier on. It distracted at least 2nd U.S. Cav, keeping them over there. But so you do have some Union that are making their way a little far into the woods here. 88th New York. They're kind of spearheading the Union defense, at least they're the front line.
Enemy line southwest.
Gonna shoot.
Company aim.
Take aim.
Aim.
Aim. Waist tight.
This is a beautiful rock, isn't it?
Fire. Load. Independent fire.
Independent fire.
So, some CSA, 11 Mississippi's going straight up. I think they're just trying to get their flags back. They shouldn't be able to hold this, and it's not like they will. But if they can get those flags out, that's good for CSA. Because it's kind of similar to last round. If the attacking team on a map where they spawn far away, if they don't get the flags back up, that can be devastating. But only A and B is defending, and I guess 11 Mississippi's winning this. And so, 11 Mississippi getting a wipe there and getting their flags back. Oh, I don't know why that flag bearer is running all the way over there. Honestly, the officer over there, that's probably who this flag belongs to. But he is running in the worst possible area to do that. Honestly, just get the flag back to your line. Brother's going to pick it up. He's going to die, but CSA is the first to actually go to taking losses. Union have that down flag, but honestly, even though CSA are down a little on tickets there, that was a very good for CSA getting those flags back so you can continue the fight. Union still pushing forward. 6 Alabama pushing further forward. Texas Guards smelling them, and they're going to push in and get a good wipe here.
Right as well.
6 Alabama smartly getting out of there, knowing they can't hold that. And they're just going to pursue them, trying to get those tickets. Union dropped to taking losses. So, outside of Texas Guards, most of CSA holding in the center. And we'll see what CSA has in store. Man, I'm still surprised. You understand why Union has guys over here because they want to hold it, but it's clearly not enough guys. They're not going to be able to hold a lot. Here goes along Mississippi.
Mississippi's ready. Get that flag.
And 88th New York kind of getting caught. I don't know if they were caught off guard necessarily, but outnumbered. 6 Alabama taking their shots and pulling back. That's the thing. Fighting in these woods, it's crazy. West and East woods, you can't see anything until someone is basically in front of you. I mean, the trees and the smoke and everything, it just blocks your view. So, it can be difficult to defend the woods. That's why West Woods and East Woods are terribly biased towards the attacker.
boys, the fish.
So, and one CSA group has continued pushing up. Looks like they're just trying to get some flanking shots. Texas guards here.
Just stay down, wait for them to come closer.
I mean, it's a nice little angle here, as long as they can watch their left, which you can see the UEC guys are trying to take advantage.
Yep, stay down, stay down, stay down, stay down, stay down. Yeah, we're charging him out in a second.
Let's go.
Charge, northeast!
Don't like that they crouched there. Again, that death was worth 3 times the tickets.
I got me
He
3
was
of
just
them.
standing up. I get they were trying to get a little cover, but...
Officer is dead, officer is dead, come on.
Get him, boys.
Everyone is dead, everyone is dead.
Looks like 11 Mississippi was joining up with them anyways, so... It seems that CSA is pushing through the woods here. Similar to that of earlier. Union looks like they're trying to use the hills here as cover. I'll be intrigued to see where Union moves, or maybe they'll just stay there if CSA decide to hold over here. But 88th New York looks like they're going in the woods again. You got wiped in the woods a second ago, so you're going to go right back into them. And 11 Mississippi just shot him up. I mean, when you die, you see an overview of where all your teammates are at. You gotta know there's none of your teammates in the woods. I mean, you saw the UEC guys there, but... So, even though CSA is kind of taking that woods, Union's holding back. And it's, again, there's a little bit of a disconnect. Like, you got most of the Union sitting here out in the open, and you got the 88th charging into the woods. Either option is fine. You can argue which one is better. However, you got to do one or the other. You can't kind of do a mix when you're a defender. You don't have as many tickets as the attacker, so you got to pick and choose. So... 6th New York and 2nd U.S. Cav spreading out a little more, trying to get these rocks. They might go a little further. They got at least a nice couple arty kills that they can get here. Which they shot canister. Overshot there. I don't know how many kills it got, though. They kind of shot into that bush. 2nd U.S. Cav is going to make him pay for at least shooting that shot. TKO. And some of those 2-core guys are up in the fence engaging. CSA seems to want to take this a little slower. They have the ticket lead now, especially helps with the few groups getting wiped in the woods. But they've got a slight ticket lead, and so they've got 17.5 minutes they could ride this out.
We're Soviet when I need them to say stupid Yankees to them.
Keep it up, boys, out there.
They're running back like a fucking
Look at them run.
Hold your fire. Ceasefire. Hold your fire.
And Union pull back a little bit. Again, they got a little bit of a death blade here. And that's why they're crouching here.
Rise.
Can provide some cover.
They're coming for you, so holding fire.
About face, triple quick.
It's triple.
Again, Union, for the most part, is playing its... Did Union get wiped over here again? Oh my goodness, I did. Texas cards. I mean, might as well. They don't have their flag. That flag is still down over there, so... Honestly, if they can run out and just keep farming those, the 88th, and I don't know if the UEC guys are with them, but... You might as well. I mean, I don't get why they're not just going through the corn if they're trying to get around. Or maybe they're trying to go in the woods again. Who knows? All we can do up here is take guesses. So, CSA, some are pushing up into the artillery. It's HL that's pushed up there. Looks like 11 Mississippi's going to do the same.
That's how many shots they missed. Okay.
CSA up by a fourth of a stage. They need to knock Union down a half morale stage. And 11 Mississippi, they're on the point right now. And they go off it. And Union shifting due to the CSA aggressive movement here. Getting up closer to get some shots on them. HD and the 6 New York guys are holding pretty far forward in the open. If they go back, they can go right here. They can still get great shots on them while still being defilated. Double rank in the open is a risky business. You know, at least these guys, they've got caissons or whatever, but Union is holding a little further forward than they need to be. So it looks like that Union flag despawned over there, so at least the 88 can get that flag back. And yeah, they're going to have to pay for that, and so they pull back a little bit. Looks like TKO's pushed up on Union left. So, for now, I mean, for the most part, Union's in the best defensive spot they can be in on this map. I mean, it's good enough to where the CSA can't charge you. Like, imagine it if CSA had to, like, take a point right here and Union had to use these kind of natural little earth lines here or whatever. Natural hills and whatnot as defensive position. I think that'd be kind of neat. Like, the only way that CSA could get in is if they charged across the open field. That would be fascinating.
Get your roads, everyone, regroup down the hill.
So you can at least see what it's like for both sides here. Got CSA in the wood line, and then on the other side of that, you got dead people.
Oh, nice Eric, no.
But we'll come back to that when they spawn back in, so at least you can get a bigger view of it.
Oh, wait, recover.
So, Union slowly but surely getting down. CSA up by almost a third of a stage now. So the only shot Union has is a mass team turtle, but you don't really see that anymore these days in most events, and you rarely, if ever, saw them in a European event. So we'll probably just see Union get hit to breaking, and then CSA is going to mob dash the point, probably, and then Union is obviously going to do the inverse. CSA is much more spread out than the Union is, though. Not by a whole lot. But
Asian, you killed Wilkes Booth. Why?
Oh. Happy you're in the
Is he Asian?
so you got CSA mad dashing the point. Looks like they're going to try to force this issue right now. 11 Mississippi's pushing up right now. Wow, that was unfortunate timing. Dive right as we switched to them. 11 Mississippi getting their shots off before they charge. I don't know why they should just charge right in there. You're just sitting ducks in the open, but they charge in there. They're going to get a couple kills at least. Again, they've got a big ticket lead, so it doesn't matter if they lose any. Union hit breaking. CSA not moving on point yet. You have some melees going on already. CSA moving on point. You can see 88th on your left trying to mad dash point. 6 New York engaged in a melee. And can Union prevent this? You heard the guys on CSA saying GG and then they started yeeing. That clock was teetering by the end of it, so wow. Anyways, great round by CSA. Really a continuation from what we saw in round 1. pure domination. There's no really other way to play around that. Union just did not look disorganized. The only good thing that Union did really this second round was retaking that point. And I don't know how much credit you can give them, especially since they all were respawning at main and were together. And that was really the only thing they could do. But besides all that, good fighting. Really well done there to the CSA side on both rounds. Very much well earned 2-0 today. And yeah, there's really not much more to say to that. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Sorry for the issues throughout the beginning of this, especially with setting up the new scoreboard and stuff. Let me know your thoughts on that. But anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Nonetheless, like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want to support the channel more. We have a Patreon where you get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment on the bottom of our videos and get additional broadcasts per week. We have other links in the description. But anyways, we will see you in the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your night.